Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm here to announce the release of the fifth edition of Everest Group's Engineering Services Top 50 list. And like every year, this year too, there have been plenty of movements in service provider rankings, and there are a couple of new entrants to the list as well, which makes this year's report very interesting. But before I give you more facts about the report, let me very briefly talk about the purpose of this list. Now, the ES Top 50 list, as the name suggests, comprises the top 50 service providers in the engineering services market, ranked as per their revenues in calendar year 2022 and the growth they recorded over the previous year. We've also depicted the play that each of these providers has across various engineering services verticals and horizontals. So it's a very useful tool for enterprises to get a sense of the overall provider landscape, and of course for providers also who can directly compare themselves against their peers. Now, I wanted to touch upon three interesting things about this year's list. First of all, it's very heartening to see the engineering services market remain resilient in the midst of a slowdown. So we saw the beginnings of an economic slowdown towards the latter half of 2022, and yet the market saw growth rates of around 11.5%. So definitely the right market to be in. What was also heartening to see was the recovery in some of the core ER&D verticals. So providers who had a play in verticals like automotive, aerospace, industrial products, and manufacturing did a lot better this year. And this was in stark contrast to previous years where providers with a pure software product engineering portfolio were the ones who were growing faster. The second interesting thing about 2022 was the absence of any big bang M&A. If we go back 3-4 years, every year we've seen at least one entity in the top 50 list getting acquired by another, whether it was Capgemini getting acquired by Altrin, Global Logic getting acquired by Hitachi Vantara, Umlaut's acquisition by Accenture, or the formation of Accordis as Modis and Akka Technologies came together. This year, there was no such acquisition of that nature, although there were plenty of smaller tuck-in acquisitions throughout the year. And finally, broad-based providers continue to have a say in this market. A lot of these providers have a play across verticals, and this allows them to be more flexible, more resilient. They're also focused more on digital engineering, and the fact that they're investing liberally in acquisitions to build capabilities has really helped them scale up in this market. So those were just a few interesting points about this year's report. Do take a look at this list, and you should be able to access it via the link in the description to this video. And feel free to reach out to us in case you have any questions about the list or about any specific provider. Thank you and have a nice day.